Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS Informed. Tonight we'll meet another candidate running for office, this for the Jasper City Council District Number 3. Now this is a primary coming up next week, May 7th, and so you will be voting for just a few people in just a few districts, no matter where you happen to be voting, in Spencer County, in Du Bois County, wherever it is. And in some areas you may not even be voting at all because there's no competition in the primary, but there will be in the general election. But in the primary there is a race that is in the 3rd District. And one of those candidates is Chad Lueken. Chad is joining us in the studio today to tell us about why he's running for office and tell you a little bit about himself. And Chad, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Bill.
We're glad to have you. Now, Chad, if you could, let's start off. Tell us, who is Chad Lueken?
Well, Bill, I'm just like any other normal, average father of 9 children, just like anybody else. So.
Okay. Wow.
Actually, my family has been in Du Bois County since 1850. My children are their 6th generation to live here. Myself, I'm one of 3 children, 3 sons. My dad retired from Jasper Engines. My mom was a homemaker. She went to the workforce sometime later when we were older. I come from a long line of servant leaders. My great-great-grandfather was a township trustee. He was justice of the peace and assessor. My father was a police officer for a while. My brother's in the FBI. I was a military policeman. All 3 of us brothers and my dad all served in the military. So service is very important to us. And I graduated from St. Meinrad College in 1997, earned a degree in history, and taught for 2 years at Washington Catholic High School. Found an opportunity to move back in 1999, establish an insurance practice here in Jasper with the Knights of Columbus. And a year into that, I threw my hat in the ring to be considered for a general agent position, which is a challenge, to say the least. I did earn that spot. It was the youngest of about 130 general agents in this Fortune 1000 company at the time, and did that for 13 years, traveling the state, training and hiring and training field agents for the Knights of Columbus. In 2013, I returned to personal production as a field agent to serve families right here in Jasper, to focus on that. My wife and I do have 9 children. We've been very blessed in that regard. My wife is my hero. You can tell her I said that. We've been active parishioners at St. Joseph Church, and I'm an active member of the Knights of Columbus. I'm an Eagle Scout, and just always looking for additional ways to give back to the community.
Well then, why are you running specifically for office, Jasper City Council, District 3? What possessed you to do that?
Sure. Well, Jasper's been very good to me, Bill, and I'd like to be able to give back to the city that has been so good to our family. I'd like to see my children have an opportunity to come back and raise families of their own, and to be able to live, work, and play and worship here just the same as I have. And we're going to be facing some challenges in the near future with regard to making those opportunities happen. And I feel like I have something to offer the city, and am going to give it the old college try.
Before we get into the issues and concerns, what is District 3? So this is folks that are voting in the primary on the Republican ticket, and District 3 will be voting for you.
Yeah, District 3 is, I really call it the heart of Jasper. It starts along Newton Street as the easternmost boundary, and following westward from there, really to the western edge of the city limit. The north boundary at a point is 15th Street, so from like Springs Valley Bank and Trust there at 15th and Newton, following west. And then it goes northward a little bit on St. Charles, and then west again on Sheeter, on out to the edge of the city. The southern boundary is 6th Street, and following west there. Doglegs a little bit out by Precious Blood Church to the south, includes Gregory Lane there, and then following all down Klimper, and then west from there. Includes all the new development to the west, including out by Shiloh Church and the Brescher Drive area too. So it's a big district.
Yeah.
Contains a lot of the treasures of Jasper. St. Joe Church, of course Cabby O'Neill Gymnasium, and so yeah, it's the heart of Jasper.
Then what are concerns or issues that the city may be facing now or may be facing in the future, and how would you address those?
Yeah, there's a lot of big ticket items that that we've taken on over the last several years, and things that are good and important, things like the parklands, things like the Clark 10 Cultural Center, and our challenge there is going to be maintaining these excellent projects, of course, while all the while looking for ways to continue to expand our offerings to the public, to businesses and families, and doing so in a fiscally responsible way. That's the Jasper way. So we've got our work cut out for us there. The big study going on with regard to the Mid-States Corridor, there's a lot of big proponents in the business community for that. I think that's a priority. Look forward to being a part of that and just seeing how the city is going to benefit from that. I think will be exciting. There are other things that are on people's minds too, and going door to door, I found, you know, the public safety issues that people are thinking about. Found out where all the potholes in the streets are. Found out, you know, the stop signs that people disregard. That's unfortunate. But these are things that are important to people in their neighborhoods, and there's concern about mental health and substance abuse. I think there are some things that we can improve on that. People are interested in having even more walking paths in the city beyond what we've built and what we are building.
What would differentiate you and your opponent?
Yeah, so my opponent is Merrill Osterman. He's a good man. I told him I hope he loses only by one vote. He's a good person. Actually, we're both committed Christians. I think we're both dedicated family men. In actuality, our wives are both second cousins to each other, so we both married into a good family. There are some differences, of course. Merrill will readily admit that he has a shorter haircut than I do, for example, if you know what I mean. But there are some differences, and mainly those differences are in our work experience. You know, his skill set is in technology, and I think has been mostly applied externally, like, for example, working with the Department of Defense. So important work for sure. Whereas my expertise is really in people and financial issues, insurance, and helping people win financially. And that experience has been really applied locally. So I'm kind of like WJTS in that regard. I'm a local person helping local people, and I think that's gonna serve the people well. I think it's put me in a unique position to be very close to the pulse of the people, to know what's on people's minds.
Then at this time, we're going to give you an opportunity to say any final thoughts, an open mic, so to speak, to talk to the voters in District 3 of Jasper. Okay.
Well, at the end of the day, I think voters will need to consider who best represents their Jasper values. These are the things that make us the exceptional city that we are. Things like strong work ethic, generosity, competitive spirit, religious zeal, and pride of community. So those are the things that give us the competitive advantage over other communities. And I feel like I represent those values well. And I think any committed Republican voter, those who never miss a primary, ought to also consider who's going to give us the best opportunity to win in the fall should the opposition party put up a candidate. I feel like I can peel off some Democratic votes because of the work I've done in so many homes over the years, helping people win financially. I think that that kind of trust is earned over a very long period of time, and I think people want a government they can trust. So if I'm fortunate enough to earn your vote, I greatly appreciate it. I look forward to serving you on City Council and working hard for every voter, every citizen. Thank you.
All right, well, Chad Lueken, thank you very much for being our guest.
Thank you, Bill.
Chad Lueken is running for District 3 Jasper City Council in the Republican primary, May 7th. You can vote now or vote on Election Day. Please just make sure you vote if you live in a district where there is voting, no matter where that happens to be. It is important to the governmental system in our area. Chad Lueken, thank you very much for being our guest. Thank you for watching WJTS Inform. As he alluded to, we are local people watching local people.